Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be doing a Marvel debate. Who is the best MCU villain from phase 1 to phase 3? So with me I've got Emily, Grace and Ellie, and we're going to all decide who we think is the best villain. So we're just going with the flow really, we don't have like a set one. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell and let us know in the comments who you think is the best villain, and let us know if you have any other ideas for other Marvel or Disney debates or other debates just generically. Make sure you check out our other videos and stay tuned for more. So hopefully you guys enjoy this debate. Right, for me, I think it is Loki. Don't ask why, I'm joking. I think I think it's the memorable one, and I don't know, with like Loki, it's just a bit of, oh, you hate him sometimes, and then sometimes like, oh, that's really cute because of his like brotherly sibling relationship with like Thor. So you're just like, oh, that's really cute, and then sometimes it's just like, why would he do that? So I think the main villain I see in phase 1 to 3 is Loki. Anyone agree?
Yeah, I mean, for me, he's like one of them. Like, we first see him in Thor, and he's the villain because he's jealous of Thor and because of Odin, because they don't treat him equally. And then we see Avengers, and then we get to really see like how powerful he is, and like nearly enough to defeat Cap as well. But yeah, and then we sort of like you said, we sort of start to like him because he's not all so bad, and his personality is just, you just never know whether he's going to be good or bad, and whether he's going to be dead or not, I guess, as well. That's another thing. But yeah, he's just really funny, and he's cunning and resourceful. Like the scene from Thor: The Dark World where he like shape shifts. I don't know what the word is, but he like changed into like different like characters. Like he changed into Lady Sif, changed into Cap. Like that's the sort of moments of Loki that I really love, like his funny moments and like the Grandmaster part as well. Like, I just don't think you can ever go wrong with Loki. He's like one of the best villains that we've had. But is he a villain is another question, I guess.
I think he is one of the best villains. He's evil, he's cunning, he's just got a thirst for power. But one villain that did really stand out to me is Killmonger. And this is because I feel like for him, I think we kind of really feel for this guy. I think this is someone we kind of root for as well. Like, we hate for what he's done, but we do kind of understand his reasons behind his actions. Like, this is a guy who wants to change the world, but in a not in the right way. And we kind of understand his upbringing about how he was abandoned with his father murdered, and he grew up with vengeance. I mean, who could blame him? And I feel like his idea of changing the world, it was actually carried on by the T'Challa. Like, in the end, like finally Wakanda stops being an isolated country and actually goes out to the world, telling them about their origins, their existence. And I think that wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Killmonger. I mean, he's done worse things. I'm not saying he hasn't, and he should get paid for that. But I think there is redemption for his death. Like, I think he's relatable character, because what he's been through is like, it's happening all over the world, like prejudice and like racism. And this is something I think everybody kind of feel like, kind of roots for, like just someone who's been trying to fight to make sure that never happens again, because that's what he wants Wakanda to rise up and help everyone in Africa and every Black person in the world to rise up and stop prejudice. And I like Loki, but I feel like Killmonger caught my attention more.
Yeah, definitely, because if he hadn't come around, then T'Challa wouldn't have done anything. Like, Wakanda would have stayed the same. So even though he's like this killing machine, I think they even refer to him as a killing machine. And I mean, like, his body's covered with tattoos of all the kills. That sounds horrible. I shouldn't say kills because they're people, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, so he is definitely a great villain. I don't know if I'd say he's the best of phase 1 and phase 3. Phase 1 to phase 3, sorry. But yeah, I mean, another villain I quite like is Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I mean, I love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume. So I've got to mention it. What I like is that we start off thinking like he's a good guy because he's found Quill, and they're getting that father and son, bond and stuff because they've never met each other, and Quill's like grown up like without having like a parent for ages, and then he becomes a psycho. And we find out that he killed Quill's mother by giving her a tumor, which was just like, what? And then he impregnated like loads of women to have children and then killed his kids when they didn't have celestial powers. I mean, he is crazy. He's actually like really powerful as well. So I wish they hadn't killed him off so soon. I get why they did, but he was a crazy villain. And I mean, the stuff he did is just terrible. Like, yeah. I don't know what else to say. He's just I really liked him at the beginning, and I was like, oh, this is so sweet, like they're getting together, they're having a family, they're having like father-son bonding time, and then you find out that he's the reason he has no mother.
The movie very much did take a turn.
Yeah.
Not what we were expecting, no.
It is a shame, really, that they are killing off like new villains that have literally been introduced in the first film or second.
That's why I like about Loki. Like you got to see the character development. You got to see him as a villain in a lot of films. You get to see him completely change. Is he a villain? Is he not a villain? Like, that's what I liked about Loki. And then you don't really see that in many other characters. Obviously, you get Thanos in like 2 films, but then the others, it's very much just a one film kind of thing, and then you move on to the next one. At least with Loki, it was like a running theme,
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think like the best villain out of phase 1 to phase 3 was Thanos. I mean, so we understand why he's doing it. He's found that there's this imbalance, and
Right.
so we actually understand his motive, like why he's doing it, but it is in the right way. Like, killing half of the population is not the right way. Like, we hear what he says, like Titan was like most planets, too many mouths and not enough to go around. And when we faced extinction, I offered a solution, and Doctor Strange goes, genocide. But a random, dispassionate, fair to rich and poor alike, called me a madman, and what I predicted came to pass. So we saw that, like, if I was to put it like this, so there's this guy who wants to save the planet, who wants to save the universe because there's not enough resources. If I put something like that, it sounds like a hero, right? It doesn't sound like someone who's a villain, but what he does is what makes him a villain. And we see him build up as a villain over the phases, because it starts off with the Battle of New York, and then it goes on from there. Like, he's behind so many different things, and it all happened, like his backstory and like what he wants to do. Like, it's really interesting. And I'm not saying it's like a good, but yeah, I guess the fact is that he did all of that sort of because he thought that was the right thing to do, but it isn't the right thing to do. So most villains, like, they want to like rule the universe or the planet or something, but he actually wants to help planets and civilizations. Not saying that's not saying that the way he did it was right, but he's sort of a very different villain from the usual sort of villains we get. But it's his acts that make him a villain, because he invades planets and then he murders them. Like, he splits families apart and civilizations. So I feel like he's a really complex villain, and it was nice seeing his backstory build up as well. Like, just seeing how he had to wait to make his mark. He had to wait till Hela died because she was too powerful. He had to wait till Ego died because he was too powerful. Odin, he waited, and then all of a sudden it became perfect, and he could, become the Madman.
The Mad Titan.
Yeah, the Mad Titan. Thanks. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, so I think he's the best from phase 1 to phase 3. Does everybody agree? Does everybody agree? I don't know.
I don't think I have a favorite. Like,
I think you're right. Like Loki and Thanos, they are quite like the memorable best villains throughout from phase 1 to phase 3. I think just for me, because what I like them, and I feel like they have reasons to be villains. I just feel like none of them compares to Killmonger and why, like the reason he is becoming a villain. Like Thanos is here, and I feel like Killmonger is just a tad bit more. Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. I still think Thanos, like, I feel like he's the ultimate bad guy.
Yeah, well, he wanted to wipe out half of the universe. Killmonger just.
Killmonger was him doing that. He would have wiped out half of the people probably on Earth.
Yeah, but. Okay, that's slightly true, but. Oh. Okay. I kind of say that is kind of similar, but I don't know. I just don't feel that sympathetic for Thanos as I do much for Killmonger.
Yeah, I guess that's because Killmonger did it for because he saw the treatment of people he saw that firsthand, whereas Thanos, like, he saw it as well, but it's not really directly affecting him because he has enough food, like he's okay, but Thanos saw it around like the universe. He saw that people, like, children were crying, children were not getting food, and it was just, and he saw that. So I guess that is probably why we had there was a bit more of an emotional connect towards Killmonger instead, I guess.
I mean, the only one I remember was Loki and Thanos. I don't remember the other characters anyway.
So which one do you think is the best test then? Now, since you've heard sort of like a couple thrown in.
I don't know. I mean, it's been a while since I've watched movies, and they all are quite bad, aren't they? I mean, bad as in like they good they play good roles. What about you, Ali, or you, Emily, and Grace?
I have a favorite. I do love Loki. I liked the character development they gave from him, but I don't know if you can really call him a villain anymore. Thanos was cool. Well, not really. He kind of really irritated me, but his methods, you kind of saw where he got that from. A very powerful villain. Actually got the job done for the most part. Killmonger, also very cool. We saw a lot of his character, which I liked. Like, we saw reason, we saw meaning behind it. Hela was also cool as well.
Yeah.
She was very powerful, and I would have liked to see more of her. Her dog was really cool. But I just can't pick a favorite. I can't. I'm sorry, I'm staying undecided. They have all served their purpose.
Wait, can I ask something? Has there ever been any villains in phase 1 or to phase 3 where the villain thought actually killed the hero? Because I thought at one point when I was watching Black Panther, I thought Killmonger actually killed T'Challa, and I can't remember if any other villains have ever tried actually done the job.
Really close. Oh,
Thanos did.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. But before that.
I mean, they've all been very close. Ego was very close too, as well.
But to a point where you actually thought they're dead.
Yeah, I mean, Hela and Thor, like.
Yeah,
it was only that moment when he got those lightning, that scene is just so. Sorry, that's another topic to discuss another time.
Later.
Yeah.